Shall I? So the question is, there is no satisfaction with the intellectual realization of non-duality. The person seems to have good amount of study of scriptures and meditation practices. His question is, even with the intellectual realization of non-duality, while far removed from the moment-to-moment realization, seems to remove motivation to act. I don't have motivation to act because world is unreal, mithya. All right. Typically, Vedantic students will start with Jagat Mithya. World is unreal. So I don't have any motivation to work because anyway, everything is unreal anyway. Okay. There seems to be no urge to improve the mind in any way. I have reached this level of what is the point of improving the mind? You want to become resilient in the face of inevitable future suffering. I mean, there are some challenges in future and intermittent current mild suffering that comes from the identification with the body, thoughts, and emotions. So I didn't need to improve anything. Whatever comes, let it come. Even suffering comes. Is there some amount of this apathy so that one can be motivated to find some way to convert intellectual knowledge to ongoing realization? Is the question. Is the question for all of you? So the answer for this question is good, right? See, I'll put it this way. A intellectual understanding is required for a spiritual journey. But intellectual understanding is not the final. It's intuitive understanding which makes a difference. Intellectual understanding is called paroksha jnana, indirect knowledge. Intuitive understanding is direct knowledge. So you have to have a direct experience of reality that alone frees. It's called aparoksha jnana. So it's called intuitive perception. As in its perception, the self cannot be perceived. What cannot be perceived, you have to realize as your own self. So from a known situation, known body-mind complex, I'm unknown, unknowable, you have to move it. Now, after many scriptures and after meditation, why I'm not feeling what I am? See, our realization, there are two dimensions to realization. One is transcendental and others called immanent. Transcendent is the peace, silence, what I experience in meditation. Immanent is when I come back to the world. The body-mind complex is in the world. Okay. So now, between the transcendent and immanent is the gap. Okay. Life, again, by meditation or enlightenment, the situation in life will not change. The challenges will come, suffering will come, some pain will come. Now, I've lost the motivation because at the transcendent level, I know I'm Brahman. At the immanent level, there's an issue. And I'm still not able to bridge the gap between the two. Right? So that's where I give the Vedantic approach. What happens in Vedanta? In Vedantic teaching, traditionally, a good amount of maturity is required before somebody gets into a Vedanta journey. He has to see life. He has to see up and down of life. Okay. A Vedantic system is based on Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and finally come to Jnana Kanda. Jnana Kanda exposure or wisdom of self is not given to all. A person matures through life, through marriage, family, performing dharma, performing karma yoga, performing upasana. A deeper maturing happens. And all this karma kanda, upasana, and meditation, all those things are in the immanent reality, not in the transactional reality, absolute reality. So a person who is mature in this, is given jnana. You are beyond that. Right now, what's happening? People at different level of maturity take up practice of enlightenment. So the maturity at the immanent level and realization at the transactional level, at transcendent level, there's a gap possible. Basically, the purpose of the Vedic approach of what you call as upasana, karma kanda, is to mature your personality fully for the immanent reality. So that way, I'll show you a slide. He has understand. I'll come to that. Okay. He has understanding. That, so basically, the realization is two-dimensional. A self-realization or enlightenment, two-dimensional. Peace and love. Peace is as my transcendental reality. Love is my immanent reality. The peace is what I experience at transcendental reality, at meditation and samadhi. Love is what I experience when I come back and interact in the world. So peace and love is complete realization for me, according to me. Okay. So that translates into two experiences. At the meditation level, samadhi is tranquility. Tranquil. And at the worldly level, it becomes equanimity and ecstasy also. Energy, full of energy. It's not dullness. If there is a dullness, there is a gap somewhere. Okay, a person who is enlightened is full of life. Because transcendental reality has addressed as tranquility, and immanent reality is addressing as love, which translates into ecstasy and equanimity, which is bubbling with energy. So this I call it as two levels of realization, head and heart. So that's why typically I put this picture. Head, light in the head, light in the heart, and light in the nabi, energy. Head, this is actually our head center, thinking, okay, interact in the world. These are heart center, love, and this is our energy center. A person who is fully mature, these three centers are fully blossomed, and the wisdom operates through this. The head blooms with wisdom, heart blooms with love, and energy blooms with selfless service. This is transcendental, this is immanent. Okay, these two are immanent, heart and energy. So finally, to interact with the world, you need a heart and energy. So this is what I call head and heart should be fully mature. Now, what will happen to us? So this spiritual journey is like this. Before spiritual journey, somebody goes to spiritual journey, he is told the world is, for him, world is only reality. He doesn't know about God or Brahman and all. And he suffers. Then during spiritual journey, first thing he is taught is world is unreal, Brahman is real. Now he starts feeling, oh, everything in the world is unreal, mithya. Okay. Then starts meditating. So he may or he may not realize I am Brahman, or he may think intellectually realize I am Brahman. Okay. The world is unreal, remains for him. But a person who has matured in life, after relation, Brahman is real. The world is real as Brahman. World is not unreal. World is also Brahman. And I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. And I am the world. So when I am the world, there's full of love. It's called, there's a peace as Brahman. There's love as world. So both dimensions are addressed. In reality, there are no two dimensions. There's only one reality called Brahman. So both aspects are realized. Now what happens? Many people, world is unreal remains, but the world is myself doesn't happen. Sarvam Khalu Brahma. It's called Sarvam Khalu Brahma. That doesn't happen because the ripening has not happened. Either ripening before Jnana or ripening after Jnana. So in this situation, there seems to be a gap. Now, why there is a gap? Let's understand. Our subconscious mind is 90% and our conscious mind is 10%. Now, what are you doing in Jnana? We listen to Vedanta teaching, Tattvamasi, all those things consciously I appreciate. But subconsciously, my earlier tendencies, vasanas, and belief systems are there. So the conscious and subconscious split is there. Let us take the example. Subconsciously, I believed the world is real at that time, earlier. So that impressions are still there. Now consciously I understood. The conscious, what is conscious has to propagate to subconscious. The conscious, subconscious and conscious has to be one single flow. There's no mind cannot be split like that. So now what you understood consciously, what is there subconscious, there's a gap. So that's why the practice has to continue until the gap is bridged. Deep inside, subconsciously, before somebody comes to a Vedantic knowledge, he is told the world is Ishvara. He has done sadhana as a service to Ishvara, the world. So he doesn't go to world as mithya to the Atmadana. He goes to the Atmadana self-relation with world as Ishvara. The world is nothing but, he sees the entire world as Ishvara Surupa. It's not mithya. So mithya is the name and form, not the world itself. World is God only, Brahman only. So that understanding he has happened, and he has done karma yoga, he has done upasana, and his heart has fully blossomed. The love has fully blossomed. That's why bhakti comes first. So then he goes to the head, jnana. So now head and heart is full of love and head is full of wisdom. So that's where full maturity happens. If the maturity has not happened, then what is required is deep-rooted subconscious, unconscious belief systems are not clear, hidden. Sometimes it may be obvious, sometimes it may not be obvious. So the sadhana has to continue until you become free. Now the person is saying, I don't have a desire to improve also. Improve on the work on the mind also. Right? I don't have a desire to work on the mind. I don't have a desire to address suffering also. But
question is with what motivation should I do something?
Yeah, no. What motivation do you have? Because but you are not feeling satisfied. The question is coming, I'm not satisfied. That is the motivation. Right? Still I'm feeling unsatisfied. So satisfaction has not fully come. That means there is a gap. If there's a gap, you have to do something about it. Right? So your action should be to address that gap. To address that gap, your subconscious, unconscious impressions you have to get rid of. So that is the pending sadhana. So that's where I suggest the Vedantic Rigveda teaching, Atmanu Mokshatam Jagataya. So for self-realization, Atmanu Mokshatam, self-realization and selfless service, you have to continue. So when somebody says, I don't have to do anything, definitely you don't have to do anything to become happy. But to discover happiness, you have to do something. Discover full happiness and satisfaction, you have to do something about it. The person is dissatisfied. That means he has not found the full happiness. So what is missing is conscious and subconscious gap, not bridge. So that gap has to be bridged with the proper understanding. Atmanu Mokshatam means some hidden belief systems have to be resolved. And Jagataya, the heart should bloom for the service, compassion. So there's a subsequent question. My heart is not blooming. I'll answer that separately. So typically, a person comes to Vedanta, is already comes with a heart which is fully developed. Fully developed to Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. That person has a Chitta Shuddhi, then he comes to Jnana. Now I have come to Jnana, my heart has not fully blossomed. What to do? At least address subconscious, unconscious issues which are pending. Does that answer your question? Should I go to the question again?
Subconscious.
Yeah. No. That's where the meditation, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa is that process. The Shravana, Vedanta teaching of Shravana will try to address your belief system various angles. So somewhere your hidden angle will come out. Nididhyasa is you have to go and observe what is happening within. You cannot cheat yourself. It's a search for truth. So what is bugging me? Why? That you have to get in. So does that answer the question fully? Or not fully?
Yes, I think.
Okay. Shall I go to the next question? Anybody has a question on this Zoom? Lalita, Narsimurthy, anybody has a question?
No question related to this, Guruji. Very clear. Very clear.
So let us go to the next question. continuing the earlier question, baby. So basically, a human being is nothing but an energy pattern. Okay, we are all energy patterns. A I think it's Hawkins. He has given a scale for human emotions. How accurate is that? How good is that? Will not worry. So generally, I feel agree with him. Our frequencies are operating at a certain level. Each human being operates at a certain level. The lower level frequencies like shame, guilt, apathy, and make me feel contracted. They're lower level frequencies. The higher level frequencies, love, compassion, peace, their higher level frequencies feel you expanded. The consciousness feels expanded. So now, a person who has become mature, this maturity has happened at the love level, at the reasoning level, looking at life in various dimensions. Then wisdom comes. The wisdom in Vedanta is called Pradna, awakening of Pradna, awakening of wisdom. What is awakening of wisdom? Wisdom is knowledge when it's applied, becomes wisdom. Vedantic knowledge is there. Brahma Satya, Jagan Nitya. Jagat, the world is unreal. But next clause is there. Brahma Satya also. World is Satya as Brahman also. Is it just mere understanding, or by observation, by your own observation, by your own experience, have you realized it's true? So that experience aspect is called awakening of Pradna. So the intellectual knowledge has to be converted to intuitive perception. Intuitively, I should know this reality. Now, in most of us, intuition is overridden by intellect. Okay. As with the Vedantic knowledge teaching, the mind becomes silent. The purpose of intellect is to recognize what is not, neti, not. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, name and form are unreal. All those neti negation is done by the intellect. Intellect is very good in that, through discrimination. But after negation, intellect's role is over. Then intuition has a role. Who am I? Intuitively, I know I am. I exist. I am aware. Who is that I am without all this body, mind, intellect, name and form? If I remove, still does I am exist? Do I exist? If I exist, who is that I am? So that intuitive knowledge opens up. And not only that, whatever I am, the world is also that I am. The same I am is there in the world also. So that understanding intuitively pursue is called intuitive apperception. In that intuitive apperception, both peace and love bloom fully. Otherwise, what happens? The hidden factors, hidden belief systems are blocking that intuitive apperception. This is my understanding. Ultimately, what gives realization is intuitive apperception. It's called Aparoksha Jnana. Aparoksha Jnana, I am Brahman, and the world is also Sarvam Khalveda Brahma. Now, if it's not happening, that means some subconscious, we call it chitta. Some subconscious impressions are pending.
Something is holding up that I am to something.
Yeah. Something is sticking to that I am. Something is sticking to the world. Not normally what sticks to the world is Jagat Mithya sticks to the world. Unreal. Jagat is Satya as Brahman doesn't come to my mind. I have started with Jagat is Mithya. Okay. So they say a Zen story. Somebody got enlightened. He becomes famous. One student comes and asks, Master, I heard you got enlightened. What is the difference? The master says, before I got enlightened, I used to go to the forest, chop wood, fetch water, and cook food and eat. What happened after enlightenment? I go to forest, chop wood, cook food, and eat. What is the difference? My mind is peaceful. So the difference is, if you are enlightened really, there's a peace, deep abiding peace. In the same work, what you're doing, the work doesn't become a boredom. That's where a spiritual journey is categorized three stages. The first stage is somebody is there who is suffering in the world. He is called what we call in our language samsari. For him, mountain is a mountain, tree is a tree. And when he starts spiritual journey, mountain is not a mountain, tree is not a tree, something real is something real behind that. And after enlightenment, mountain is a mountain, tree is a tree, both again. Right? So what I was at the spiritual seeker in the path, he has various notions. These notions are vasanas about realization. So after enlightenment, you are as peaceful and everything in the world goes on as usual with the peace of mind. No, I don't have like for this, it's not there. So before enlightenment, mountain is a mountain, tree is a tree. What does it mean? He sees that as real. During the process of enlightenment, he says, no, it's not unreal, it's vidya. Okay, it's not real. Yeah. So nothing is real. Mountain is not real, tree is not real, river is not real. But after enlightenment, mountain is also real, tree is also real as self. Earlier it was real as a mountain, now it's real as a self. So that is the complete journey. And what is holding us from complete journey? Our own vasanas, our own subconscious impressions which are holding. Conscious mind, conscious understanding, subconscious understanding don't gel together.
Initially it was that is tree, that is mountain. Now I am tree, I am
mountain. So earlier it was a tree, there is a tree, mountain, there's a tree. In the spiritual sadhana, there's no mountain, there's no tree, there's something truth, something else is there. After realization, I am the mountain, I am the tree. So this is where the complete integration happens. I'll say head and heart integration, conscious and subconscious mind integration.
After realization, I am the mountain, I am the tree.
It should come.
You're saying mountain is even after realization?
No, I'm saying clarification. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why one Rishi, he gets enlightened. He says, I am the mountain, I am the tree, okay, I am the river. So the inner and outer subject-object duality goes. If somebody says, I'm bored of life, there's somebody who is bored there. Somebody says, I don't find interest in life, there's somebody who is not finding interest in life there. Why is there? Because some vasanas and samskara are pending. If I am not fully satisfied, the one who is not fully satisfied is there. The dissolution of this is called enlightenment. Then the life is a seamless flow. The inner and outer reality is one. Subject and object is one. There's no place for unreality at all. There's only place for Brahman everywhere. That's why Brahma Okate, Parabrahma Okate. Only Brahman is there. So if the question is, what is holding me? Subconscious impressions, unconscious impressions is holding. I don't have interest in life. The one who has no interest in life, it remains. So that guy has to be dissolved because some impressions are holding that guy. Does that answer the question?
Yes, let's just clarify. He has interest in life. He has no interest in pursuing in a way that would mitigate his current little suffering and future. Otherwise, he is interested.
Yeah, if I have no interest in mitigating my current suffering and my future suffering, so if it doesn't bother you, leave it. If it doesn't bother you, don't worry about it. If it bothers you, then you have to get in to find out the impressions which are holding. If the answer is, I have interest in life, but I am not interested in working on my mind or working for some suffering which will come in future. I'm in the present moment. Then the question doesn't come. The very fact that the question has come, that means something is bothering. What is it bothering?
It's not pain, it's suffering.
So if this doesn't bother you, then no need to address anything.
It's only pain.
If it bothers you, then I would say there's a gap in understanding, conscious and subconscious. That gap is ultimately Sarvam Khalida Brahma. One Brahman alone is there. Is okay? So what happens is that at any stage of life, at any frequency, we can get some jnana. Even a person who is very suffering in fear, he can get your Brahman only jnana. But it doesn't mitigate him. It doesn't make it free, because His subconscious is fear gripping him. He has not blossomed as a person. The maturity and blossoming as a person is important, which is actually called head blooming, heart, head, the purity of the heart and clarity of the intellect together should go. Head and heart should get integrated. Was that too much answer for a question? Clear?
Because see, this is his plus broader for some others.
Yeah. If the question doesn't bother him, then question itself would not happen. Right? If something doesn't bother me, I won't put a question, no. So, next question shall I take?
So, the thought is not feeling it as it should be, or am I somehow holding up my heart from actually feeling it? What is the...
See, basically, so shall I take it a separate question or what? Yeah.
It's the same, for the
same question, right? You are continuing. Shall you continue? This question, okay. The record. Yeah. The question here is what is holding my heart? Okay. See, basically, as we grow from children, we bloom at various levels, right? Some maturity happens, sexual maturity happens at the puberty, then emotional maturity happens, then intellectual maturity happens. It's like a flower blossoming. It doesn't blossom overnight. Various that's why our yogic pictures show various centers as flowers. They'll bloom at different ages. Sexual maturity will happen. Sexual flowers, which is actually lower level centers, will bloom at a younger age, maybe at the 12 to 14 years age. Emotions will be still disturbing. Emotional maturity will happen. Then intellectual maturity happens. Some blooming happens. And with the exposure to life, they say polish to this blooming, something happens. Now, with all this happening in life, our heart does not bloom fully. It'll be stunky. It's not fully bloomed. Your energy, which is actually this center, Nabi or Manipura, I say 3 centers: head, heart, and hands. Energy. They don't full blooming because entire system works for the ego. I am the body, I am the mind. It gets limited. My love also gets limited. My energy also gets limited. My understanding of life also gets limited because of me surrounding. So now, full blooming of heart has happened? No. So full blooming of the heart has to happen and energy to happen, which is called energy center and heart center. In Vedic time, karma yoga is given, selfless service. And heart blooming, you have given upasana. These 2 centers bloom fully. And then you go for wisdom. So if you go for wisdom earlier, what happened? Nothing wrong in that. If you are peaceful, fine. But have you bloomed fully as an individual? You can't say. It's like a mango you can cut from a tree. You can cut a tree from a ripe mango or premature mango. In Vedic times, they gave importance to a fully bloomed individual getting wisdom. Does it make sense? Right? A person who has gone through a lot of maturity in life, whose heart is full of love rather than hatred, then he gets wisdom. Then what happens with wisdom? He'll still continue to a beautiful life. Head and heart are integrated. That's called wisdom.
Intellect to intuition to illumination to wisdom is all a natural process.
It's natural.
Of
blooming. Basically, intellect, intuition, illumination. Should happen. A person, otherwise, what many people today, they read a couple of books, understand Brahman, but the inner maturity, I don't know how much is that. Of course, it looks very nice on your profile, social media profile. I'm enlightened, but whether the person is really enlightened, I don't know. That's up to him. But I am awakened. Ripening of a soul has its own time and maturity. Of course, modern Vedantic, new Vedantic teachers say, no, nothing is required. You are already Brahman. Realize that. I'm fine. I mean, it's up to the person who is teaching and listening. But a system, a fully bloomed individual, a wise individual, is like a bloomed flower, a flower which has bloomed. It has its own fragrance. Shall I go to next question?